Hello everyone and welcome to episode 14 of the Dirty Side of the Grid podcast, where we've turned up late to qualifying, but because we invented the tracks, we have been allowed to move ourselves to the front of the grid. My name is Mohamed and I'm joined again by Youssef, and this episode is going to be mainly discussion. We're going to have a few talking points to just generally chat about, and then as I mentioned in the intro, we've designed our own tracks, which we're going to talk about. I have no idea what Youssef's come up with, and he hasn't seen mine either. So,
to be fair, I've seen yours because you were just drawing it, but as in, I haven't really...
Sort of, you kind of saw it, but we haven't spoken about it. So, see how that goes. How have you been?
Tired.
Tired?
And uni hasn't started. Today's my first day and I'm tired, imagine.
This is your first day?
Yeah.
Actually, this is my first day as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels like it's been going on for so much longer.
I know, right?
So,
Anyways.
Well, quickly, news catch up in that. This is probably coming out a bit late, but at time of filming, the Haas has just launched.
And we're getting sneak peeks from Ferrari, Mercedes, a few others.
What do you think of the Haas?
It looks like from if you look from the top, it looks pretty much exactly the same as last year's car.
Yeah.
If you look from the front, it looks different. From the top, it looks exactly the same. I actually think it looks nice. Besides the livery, I don't like the livery. That's the thing. I never liked the Haas livery.
You like the shape?
But the design of the car, I actually think it looks nice. It looks different. That's the thing. It looks quite different to the car we've been seeing, the one from last year. It's basically been the exact same car for 3-4 years now. It's boring.
It's been a couple years, but they've made it
even
worse.
from 2016, it's been pretty much the same car. The difference is very small.
You mean it's right? Yeah.
But as in, this is the first kind of major overhaul in a long time.
I don't know.
When you go back and think of different cars, I think 2008, 2009. After that, they've pretty much been the same.
Until 2017, yeah. When they made them wider. But
yeah, but I'm talking about as in when you look at the car, they still look the same.
Properly, yeah.
If the car is a bit wider, you're not gonna realize it's a bit wider.
I guess so. I don't like it. I like the concept car. The F1 concept car is nice. The Haas one, I'm not a fan of.
I think the side area, the sides of the car look a bit kind of weird.
All of it looks weird to me. The front angle looks weird. The side angle looks weird. The
Maybe
top
it's just
angle
the photography.
It might be, but even then,
the photography is probably bad.
But even then, the livery, I'm just not a huge fan of either.
Oh no, I never liked the livery. I used to like the gold and black one.
That was alright. They had better liveries back in the day. And
but let's not talk about the company now.
Yeah, we won't chat too much about that. And I guess what else happened? Lewis Hamilton has broken his silence by posting once on Instagram.
No, he's posted he's been on a run with.
He's been on his Instagram story. Yeah.
So he's back. Lewis is coming.
He's basically confirmed he's driving next year, which.
We all knew it was gonna happen. I think everyone whoever said Lewis is gonna retire. I don't think knew Lewis. As in I don't think Lewis is the type of driver that if he lost it this way, would just be I'm leaving. Rage quit, I don't think he's the type of person to do that.
When you put it like that, yeah, it makes sense.
Other drivers I think would have done it. But I don't think he, in this position, obviously you have to think about his age as well, he's not young. If it happens to you and you're 28, 29, you're gonna keep going on because
yeah, that's
you're
what
young.
made it
but
seem
he's
more realistic.
He's
it's a good
37,
excuse for him to go.
Yeah, so I don't think Lewis is if another driver is in his place, you could say I see him retiring. Maybe Fernando, but I don't know.
Nah, Fernando will never leave. He's not quit. He's gonna stay.
The only reason I say that is because he retired after McLaren. He had that few bad seasons. So I'd see him if he had ended this way, I see him just rage quitting. Just based on that stuff. To be fair, other drivers never went through that tough time, so you can't really tell. Say Sebastian, you don't know would he not. It's kind of you can't really tell. But with Fernando, he did leave. But to be fair, it took him 3 years. I think it was 3 years in McLaren where they were.
Was it 3?
Yeah, 3 I think.
15,
where they were
16, 17.
They were horrendous. So.
That was awful. Yeah, the 70 place grid penalties and stuff. They had an awful time. But yeah, just to round up the news segment, we've got a predictions episode coming soon. Yeah, it should still be soon, or it's come out by now. Probably not. We'll see. And we're gonna do that on, hopefully, either it's being filmed or it's gonna be live at the URN studio here at the uni. So if we get that sorted, that'll be pretty good. We're gonna do some creative predictions, I guess. And also, I'm planning to...
Mazepin is gonna win the championship. That's a highlight. Just prepping you for us to come.
I mean, yeah, we'll discuss that too, actually, because he's clearly got it in him, and I'm organising something on social media to do with our last episode. No, not the previous one, the one before, the basic explaining F1. I've got a thing coming out to do with the radio show about that as well. So we're gonna get onto the discussion section.
Your mouse is on the screen.
There we go. Right. My first question. I came up with the first few on my head, but then I actually the rest I just went through Reddit to find. So we'll go with the first one. I think I actually found this one off Reddit, but I forgot to say who I found it off. You get to remove 3 tracks from the calendar. Which ones are you taking?
France, Mexico.
Actually, let me get the calendar up in
Monaco?
You'd get rid of Monaco?
I get rid of Monaco if we keep these cars.
But still, like, you drop
No, if we have the older cars, I keep Monaco. With these cars, it's just boring. Okay, no, go down. Let me check.
Okay.
Go down quickly.
That's testing. Okay.
Quickly. Yeah, Mexico. Like I understand. Yeah, I get rid of Russia, to be fair.
Okay, Russia.
France, Mexico, Russia. I think Russia's worse than Monaco's worse. I get rid of Monaco. Purely on like the not on the occasion, on the basis of like the race itself.
Well, like, yeah, you would do, but like the occasion gives it the reason to be on the calendar.
Not really, no. Have you ever watched the race? Have you ever watched a full Monaco? Yes, of
course I have. Yeah.
It's boring.
It is, but it's...
You spend 2 hours just sitting there crying, like... And please, and you know like what's gonna happen, like the fact that Lewis won with those tires just says everything you need to know about Monaco. See, that's the thing. If the cars were smaller, I'd have it because of the occasion and because it's like a great race. Yeah, like, it's a good race, not a great race. But as in terms now, it's qualifying. Monaco, if you got qualifying, and you don't hit your car in the wall like Charles, you're gonna win. Like realistically speaking, if you're in a Haas, you're P1, it doesn't matter who's behind you, you're winning. Like if you can drive well enough.
It's a good, but then at the same time though, like it, how do I put it? It kind of helps in a way. Like think so if Lewis or Daniel, both of them years 18 and 19, if it was easy to overtake them, the race would have been done instantly. Max would have overtaken Lewis in his dead tires.
Then Vettel could have challenged him.
He wouldn't have challenged him. He would have just gone past him on the straight, and that would have been it.
No, Vettel was behind.
Yeah,
Max.
so
I mean Vettel would have challenged Max.
Max, what you mean Daniel?
No, Max, because it was Vettel, Max, Lewis.
Was Vettel that close?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember.
But
either way, what I'm saying is like the fact that it's hard to overtake almost gives it a thing in itself.
Yeah, but now it's impossible.
Oh no, yeah, now it's too hard. So it's
now it's not too hard. Now it's impossible to overtake.
Yeah.
Like literally in the past few years, how many overtakes have there been? 0.
4.
Yeah, not even 4. Not even 4. Like you can't count the one where Charles like tries to overtake and then he just gets stuck.
Oh, that was so funny. That was so funny.
You wouldn't tell like he's driving a Formula 1 car. It's like, you know, like bumper cars.
They do steer like boats around Monaco, to be fair, but like...
Yeah, no. Like I think the most telling thing is like when Verstappen tried to overtake Lewis and you could see like his car is just... It's too big. Like you can't... There's nothing to do with it.
I don't know. I feel like so...
2008, I keep it. Now, no. But realistically, I get rid of Russia before I get rid of Monaco. So final answer would be France, Mexico, Russia.
France, Mexico. I mean, I don't really need you to define France and Mexico. Those are.
I told you last year, like, Mexico's gonna be good. I was like, Mexico's gonna be boring. Mexico's always boring. Like, no, it's gonna be good. And then
I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. I thought it was gonna. Yeah, it was horrendous.
Oh my god, France is always just boring.
Yeah, France is dead. You get rid of France.
To be fair, the Netherlands is quite dead as well. The Netherlands, the only thing that's good about it was that I think that's actually the best race to go to as a fan.
Probably, yeah.
Like, you feel like you're actually going to a party, not a race. But as in, I think Abu Dhabi's on the list to get rid of.
That's what I mean. So looking at it now, I'm very close to getting rid of it.
Abu Dhabi this year was actually quite interesting. No, not for the occasion. Just purely because the actual track was...
the new layout does make it... You know, purely because of the new layout, actually...
But I would remove it from being the last race. Like, I put it like...
100%, yeah.
I put Brazil the last one. Because Brazil, like, you don't need to make up stuff like Michael Massey's doing to go to a last lap thing. Brazil is going to rain anyway, so you, like... Yeah. That in itself just introduces so much unpredictability. You don't need to make up fake stuff.
So, the next part of this question is, what would you replace those tracks with? So, 3 tracks that aren't on the calendar that should go back on.
I want... Which ones do I enjoy? You know, I actually want Vietnam on the... Like, I know we haven't raced there, but I want that race.
I saw a video about that quite recently, about how it's just vanished.
Macau, you know, the Macau Grand Prix is quite interesting.
Is that one they do in the junior form?
Yeah, they always race there. It's actually always very interesting. I'd have that. It's like a street track, but like that's interesting. And South Africa, probably.
I don't know what that looks like, but just an African track would be nice.
Yeah, but South Africa is actually a very good track. Like, South Africa is very good.
I'll take your word for it. I say, I'd quite like the Nürburgring, to be honest. Something in Germany. Like the Nürburgring, I can't remember how good the racing was, but I just like the track.
I want something with like a massive banking. No, Hockenheim was dead. I'd have the Nürburgring just because of that massive banking. If they keep that banking.
Oh yeah. No.
If they keep that in, if they remove that, then it's like, see, Monza should have that massive banking, you know, like they used to have.
No, that's way too much. That's got to be way too much, right?
Okay, maybe not that.
They would not survive that.
Maybe not that. No, like Formula 1 cars can go upside down, so they'll get enough downforce.
Well, yeah, no, they will, but there's no way that they're gonna make contact and stuff. No, and also the biggest problem is how do you clean up debris and stuff and all of that.
It's just gonna fall.
Imagine the safety car. There's a safety car. He's going round. He just falls off.
Yeah.
Poor
yeah, I'd say like all the debris is gonna fall down, so it's gonna be fine. Maybe not as extreme as Monza, but like say half the angle, so like, or closer to the Nürburgring. That's still quite a steep one, but not as steep as. To be fair, it's not just steep; it's steep and it's massive.
That's the biggest problem. Yeah. So
but if it's that steep but it's not that massive, I think it'll be fine. So if they cut it in half, so it's like a car and a half, so you can't actually like overtake in that area. I think that'd be very cool.
I'd bring Malaysia back, to be honest.
Oh, I forgot about Malaysia.
Was Korea any good? I feel like this was before my time. It wasn't.
I ditched Vietnam because we haven't raced there. I ditched Vietnam. I put Malaysia.
India.
Interesting.
India looked quite cool. I don't think it was that entertaining, but it just looked nice.
But I think that's because Sebastian was just too good, or like his car was too good. Even.
The elevation changed some of the corners. Like I feel like it was quite nice.
The Indian one.
Yeah,
there's quite a bit of elevation. Yeah, there's quite a bit of elevation change. I'd say Malaysia. I'd take Malaysia over it though.
Yeah, no.
I'd take the Macau Grand Prix over it as well, because the Macau Grand Prix is actually very, very interesting. Not with these cars; they'd have to be much smaller, because it's a street track, so you need it to be a bit smaller. And you don't have like, I'd say the last one, South Africa. I really want to actually come back, but yeah, that'd be a very.
So very as like a specific 3, what we got in Macau, Malaysia, South Africa.
Yeah, probably.
Alright.
You don't know anything about South Africa.
That's the thing, I don't know anything about.
You're just going along with it, yeah.
Okay, the next one is, there's been a lot of talk recently, and with the new season coming up soon, has Drive to Survive actually been good for F1?
I know one of my friends, he got into F1 because of Drive to Survive, and he was complaining that a lot of F1 fans were they were hating essentially, like he received a bit of hate,
Yeah, there is a bit of like superiority with like.
You came from like Drive to Survive. I don't like that. Like I don't like that.
I find it funny to be honest. But it is a bit harsh.
Yeah. I think it brought a lot more attention to the sport. Like I think everyone knew about F1, but like not everyone watched F1. Now a lot more people are watching F1 because it's like, the sport is the way sport is way more entertaining. I think now people have realized, everyone I've known who's watched the last race, they always say that, no sport has been as exciting as that race was.
Yeah, you said this to me last time, and someone actually said that to me now, like quite recently.
So I'd say that's good because it actually introduced a lot of people to that side, to the sport and stuff. I'd say it's also bad in the sense that Michael Massey feels forced to take it, create drama where there's no drama.
Yeah, there's the negative side. The first thing is the divide it makes between the fans, where it's like there's basically the split between fan bases isn't Max versus Lewis or something else. It's before Drive to Survive and after Drive to Survive.
It's massive. The difference.
So
is
yeah, it's a bit rough with that.
They're letting I don't know if it's Drive to Survive or Michael Massey being incompetent. It's one of them. I think it's more leaning towards him just being bad at his job.
It is, yeah, but also at the same time he came in after Drive to Survive times.
Yeah, so I think that's not fair. So, see, I don't think it's fair then to kind of grade him on it, in a sense. Because it could be just because he's bad, rather than Drive to Survive as the reason. That's the thing. I think if we had a really good race director, like Charlie, I don't think we'd have these issues now.
We wouldn't have the racing and stewarding kind of issues, but do you think we wouldn't still have the...
I think the fan stuff you'd still get.
The fan stuff as well.
It was way more respectful before Drive to Survive. After Drive to Survive, people are just they basically look at Max and whatever he does, he didn't do anything wrong, he's great. If he's a Lewis fan, Max is always wrong, even if Lewis is the one who's actually wrong,
Yeah.
And so I hate it. I actually hate it. It makes actually going and looking at any post online just disgusting. Because it's just
it does.
Hate.
Honestly, scrolling through Reddit to find some of these later questions that we had made me want to die. It was so bad. I don't know. 1 minute it's anything that praised Lewis would just get hated on completely, and then any mention of Max at all would just have full blown attacks at his character, his personality.
Yeah, I don't
go over the top. It was. I don't know. It was a bit mad, but I feel like we were almost going there anyway. I feel like once the next generation of people became F1 fans, it was gonna happen. So.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
DTS, I feel like accelerated it, but
yeah, a lot. A lot. But yeah, you can't. I don't think you can just blame the show for it.
What else there? So, what else has Liberty caused though? Because that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So outside of the race director and stuff, you said Charlie would have got rid of some of the problems that we have now. There's also other things that you couldn't control though, the calendar stuff.
Oh no!
Moving things around, having Abu Dhabi last, he can't.
No, he doesn't. I think even with that stuff, it still would have been fine. But I think the big issue is the on track stuff, the driving, the issue with stuff that, Abu Dhabi, Brazil, Saudi stuff. If you eliminate that stuff, I don't think the calendar is as much of an issue.
That's a good point. Yeah. Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't really obviously you're gonna have dead tracks Abu Dhabi. You're always gonna have dead tracks, but that's just gonna be that's always gonna be the case.
It was the season finale when he was in charge, and
exactly. Yeah, and it was fine.
As much.
It's still okay. You had that Lewis and Nico battle, but then Lewis usually closed it out quite quickly. You had interesting, was it 2014 I think?
Yeah, it went to the end in 2014. Yeah.
So it was a bit interesting. You got a few interesting races.
Yeah, true. I guess the
2010 as well.
Oh yeah, true. But that's the thing. So I guess if the driving. So what you're saying is, which I kind of agree with. Yeah, if the driving is good and if the stewarding is done well, no one really cares.
Yeah.
Because everything else is just.
People will still bicker. People will still be but it's not going to be as bad as this year, where it's when Max crashed, it's Lewis is trying to kill him and stuff like that. The accusations that came afterwards were he's trying to kill him basically.
Yeah, It was.
Yeah, I don't.
The thing is that I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, you're completely right. It just goes a bit over the top. We'll move on to the next one before we get too much into that.
So just another question that I came up with basically like an hour ago. I was talking to a mate who's a Max fan, and I'm not sure, the impression I'm getting from Max Verstappen right now is, you know, he's happy with his title. This is obviously all he's ever wanted, which is the same for all the drivers. He's achieved everything that he wanted. But it's reminding me of Rosberg. Or maybe even someone like Kimi, where, sure, he's not going to retire tomorrow, but at the same time, do you almost see him becoming like a Kimi or a Vettel, where he's got his championship, and he still drives aggressively, and he's still trying to win, and he's hungry and all of this stuff, but he kind of fades into the background a little bit. Sort of like how he was earlier in his career.
I think you definitely see the difference between, like, say, like, when he won it and, like, other people. And you see, like, the difference in, like, hunger between, like, he's still celebrating it now, whereas most other people will be kind of on to the next one.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he celebrated it, and won the second one now. Even the way he spoke was, I got my first one, and this is all I ever wanted, and, you know...
He said everything beyond this is a bonus or something,
Which doesn't strike me as, like, the correct... Like, the right mentality is, this isn't enough, I want more, rather than everything's a bonus.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing you'd say on the first day when you win it. Like, you know, this is what my life has led up to.
Yeah, but not like a few weeks later.
Yeah, you don't do that like months after on the start into a new season. It's a bit... I'm not sure. It's just giving me... So the way I worded the question was on the scale of Alonso to Kimi. Because, you know, Kimi, he stayed around in F1, but he wasn't the same. And then Alonso, you give him like a... I don't know if... What's an awful car company?
House.
If... like a road car company. Like, if Fiat 500... Not even just Fiat, no, but if the Fiat 500 turned into an F1 car, and they said, we're entering an F1 car for the 2026 regulations, Fernando Alonso, do you want to drive for us? I think he would say yes. On a 5% chance that he could win a championship, he would fully just go straight in. So on the Alonso to Kimi scale, where would you put Max in my head? Because I'm thinking it's not that surprising now to see him leave with just one championship.
What did your friend say, the Max fan? What did he say? I think he probably rejected it, like this isn't true.
He did at first, but I kind of reworded it, because initially I compared him to Rosberg, but he didn't agree because Rosberg retired, so I was like, no, I meant sort of more like Kimi. And he sort of agreed, but at the same time he wanted to be like, no, but he's still going to be aggressive and fight and stuff, which I get, because he was aggressive and stuff in 2016. And I know he didn't have a championship, like, capable car at that point, but he wasn't... I don't know, I feel like if Red Bull fell back to third again and stayed in third for the next 5 years...
He'd stay with them.
I don't know.
I think this is where you see, like, the difference in mentality between, like, a serial winner and just, like, someone who's going to win it once or maybe twice over the course of his career.
Yeah.
But maybe it might be just mind games, like, he might be just doing that in the press. But...
Maybe, but...
Max doesn't strike me as the sort of person who... I was very confused when he said that.
Yeah, I thought he'd be going out, like, if there's another... The next dominant team, he'd be hopping on it, he's ready, he's trying to fight,
not
like,
in that sense. Not in that sense, but as in... I thought he'd never be satisfied with one. Like, I thought his aim would be, like, break, like if, say, Lewis wins the 8th, that would be his goal, is break that record.
You'd think so, yeah, especially because he's got the perfect opportunity. Like, he's been raised by an F1 driver. He's spent, you know, most of his childhood, or some of his childhood, or whatever, around, like, Michael Schumacher, Mick Schumacher, whatever. He's been, like...
Mick is the one who can't drive. Michael's the one who can drive.
He's been sculptured. He's been sculptured by Jos Verstappen to become an F1 driver, and he entered F1 at 17 years old. If that doesn't scream the next record breaker, like, he's got the perfect opportunity, so
I think
he should really go for it.
Yeah, I think over probably most other people, like, he's been in F1 for 6 years.
How was he, like, 24? Yeah.
6 years. 6 full seasons, so next year's his 7th.
16, did he? Yeah. Yeah?
And
yeah.
he's only just turned 24.
It's ridiculous, yeah. Like this.
So by the time he's 30, he's 13 years in.
And Lewis has done what, 15?
15 years. So he's got a chance here of winning.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the number of seasons he's gonna have on everyone else. Like if he doesn't even have to do an Alonso and go way past his prime to end up beating the record for most number of race starts. Like how many?
But the question is he gonna be able to keep up his performances for that long? Because like Fernando, basically after he won those 2 championships, he was good. He was really good. He came close to winning a few, but he never won. Yeah. And so like you could say Vettel came close to a few, but he never won because he just lost that edge. That's kind of your prime. Once you're off your prime, you can come very close, but you just lose that kind of killer instinct for that last touch.
I see that happening, yeah. Like, he comes close a couple times with misses out. I mean, that should have been what happened last year, but we know what happened.
But it'd be interesting to see his kind of mentality actually going into next year, especially with the car he has. Like, if Red Bull have a really good car, he goes out winning and stuff. If he wins the second, is he just going to be like, just going to flop and just go nowhere? Or maybe he wins the second and be like, this is actually possible. I could go on and win 8.
True, yeah, maybe if his mindset changes. But if he wins another one, his mindset might change or something.
But you can also look if Red Bull come out with a bad car. Is he going to stay or is he going to leave? He could leave and it could go horribly wrong, or you could leave and it could go like Lewis, basically.
But it's the intention, though. I guess that's... So, the answer to our question would be, if Red Bull produces not a great car next year, or for the next couple years, if he moves, clearly he's proving he's still got the hunger. Like, Daniel Ricciardo's move completely failed. But it proved that he's still hungry and trying to win something. Obviously, he hasn't won anything yet, but that's what it is. If he just stays there...
He went to Renault
Renault is sending dreams. They've finessed it. They've actually finessed it. They got Daniel, they got Alonso.
Hype merchants.
We'll see in the predictions if anyone's...
Someone had said that about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it just came to mind.
Fuck's sake. Right, we'll move on to the next one before we chat about... We don't want to be chatting about Manchester United. But who have we got? Okay, so...
do I even need to... I'll do it anyway. So I was scrolling through Reddit and I found someone who posted asking for people's unpopular opinions, which happens like every year, and it gets like 2k upvotes, which is ridiculous. But anyway, I'll just pick out the interesting ones I found. First one, does Albon actually deserve a second chance? Like, does he actually deserve the Williams seat in comparison to other drivers and the younger talent that's on the grid and stuff?
If you say it that way, does Nikita Mazepin deserve a drive?
That's a good point. No, but
if we establish F1 isn't fair, then we can kind of discuss from there. Essentially, I get why they chose him over someone like other drivers, like probably Oscar Piastri or whoever else like could have possibly gone into that seat. I understand why, because he's driven in F1 and he did very well with Toro Rosso. Like, he was performing very well, and the only time he underperformed was with Red Bull. And with Red Bull, essentially, everyone said that car was undrivable. Pierre Gasly struggled with it. He struggled with it. Sergio Perez, who's been in F1 for like 10 years, struggled with that car. And it's actually, like, the car this year is, like, they solved all the critical issues that the car had. Yeah. And Sergio Perez still struggled, like, a lot with the car. So the question is it really his fault? Because the car has been designed fully to suit Verstappen's like driving style, which obviously, like, putting in 3 super talented, like you can tell Gasly's very talented, Sergio Perez very talented, very experienced, and Albon, the 3 of them can't drive it or can't like produce results.
Yeah,
it's obviously not their fault at that point. Like, you've got enough data to say, okay, maybe the car is actually being very weird. True, I think Sergio Perez as well, like, shows that even though the car is so much better this year than where it was last year, he couldn't, like, that one win he won was because Lewis pressed on a wrong button, basically. He didn't win out of pure performance.
Yeah.
In Silverstone, he spun and got out. Basically, pretty much, like, most of the races, he's useless.
Up until Turkey, yeah.
Yeah.
No, like the only races you can go back and say he was useful was Azerbaijan, where he took full points from Lewis, because Lewis pressed on that button.
Yeah.
Turkey, where he held up Lewis. And the last one is the last race where he held up Lewis.
Did he not do anything after? Oh.
No, he did well in. No, but like he's doing.
He did well in the other ones.
Like Mexico, he got P2, I think.
USA, he got third, I think.
Yeah, but like at that point, you're supposed to be getting P2s like
Yeah.
His car is so much better than, like, you could say the Red Bull for most of the beginning of the season. The car was better for like three quarters of the season. The car was better, and yet he couldn't perform at all. And I think it says a lot that Carlos Sainz jumped in the car and he adapted very quickly to the Ferrari.
That's the thing, yes. Yeah,
whereas Sergio Perez, he couldn't cope with it.
Should we expect drivers to be able to adapt quicker though?
I think this one, everyone's on kind of like an even plane. So everyone's going to be bad, but it's degrees of bad, basically. And one person's just going to be like very, very good.
True, but I mean, that's the thing though, like you always need to be able to adapt your driving style.
Yeah.
Like that's just part of the game.
But I'd say Albon deserves a second drive. I think especially if you look at it from like the team's perspective. You get a driver who's experienced in F1, he performed very well in a small team, he's got experience in a big team, he's got experience in relaying information to the team based on the car.
The experience of Red Bull and stuff's going to be very helpful for them.
That stuff cannot be underestimated. Nicholas Latifi, to be fair, like his race pace has been getting much better than it was like previously. Yeah, but I think if Albon doesn't go out and destroy him this year, then Albon needs to leave.
Is Latifi even improved that much? I feel like Latifi's like, you know that one kid in school where they're like, I don't know, let's say like, I don't know, the first day of school they throw up and, I don't know, rub it in someone's face, and then the next day they throw out a chair at the teacher, and then the third day they just scream like 3 times, and the teacher goes, "No, well done, that's you've had a great day, solid work."
What so school did you go to?
No, but do you know what I'm on about? Do you know what I'm on about though? They're like, "Oh no, yeah, good job, well done. You get to like go out for a day, and I don't know, you get to go to like Thorpe Park or something."
You went to some weird school.
Do you know what I'm saying though? Like you're not rewarding good behaviour, you're rewarding an improvement from a horrific standard already.
Yeah, but like in his first 2 years he was in a Williams. He got destroyed by George. But you have to say George is extremely talented. Like he's never gonna be that level. Like he can
he's not
like the most he can be is a midfield driver. But when you look at his like junior Formula career, it's actually quite impressive. He jumped into Formula 1, did okay, and this year he had a car where he could potentially compete, and he scored quite a few P11s, P12s, scored points a few times.
I swear, was he third?
He out-qualified his teammate a few times at the end of the season, which says a lot considering like it's George Russell. George Russell out-qualified Lewis Hamilton in a Williams. So Lewis is in a Mercedes, a 7-time world champion, and a Mercedes, arguably at the time, the second best car, and he's in the 3rd worst car. If you say like Alfa Romeo and Haas are worse, so 3rd worst car, and he out-qualified him. So like the fact that Nicholas Latifi could out-qualify him, that says a lot.
So following the chain, Latifi is better than Lewis, which makes him the greatest the greatest driver of all time.
No, not that much, no. He only qualified Russell like 2 times. But yeah, I think it's not fair to say like no, I think he deserves a second chance. I feel bad for the other drivers. I think like Nikita Mazepin shouldn't be in F1. Like you can see why Albon's in F1.
Yeah.
You don't see why Nikita Mazepin's F1. Like someone like Guan Yu Zhou, the only reason he's in F1 is because he paid basically money. But like he shouldn't realistically be in F1. Like he's been in Formula 2 for so long, but like other drivers are much better. Like you've got Robert Schwartzman, Liam Lawson, you've got Oscar Piastri won like Formula 3, Formula 2 back to back.
Yeah, we spoke about this. This should make him a very special driver.
Yeah, and then now he's off for a season. I reckon that end of next season he'll terminate his contract with Alpine and go to Williams. Whoever they'll get rid of Latifi or Albon. He'll jump into that car.
That is a good prediction, to be fair. Yeah, I do see that.
Because Williams need a new young driver, and if Albon needs to go, if Albon goes out and destroys Latifi, they no longer need Latifi's money.
True.
So they can afford to have a young driver. It makes sense why they didn't risk it, because Latifi is not a dependable kind of first driver. So with these two, they're kind of experimenting this year. Do we have a dependable first driver that can teach us?
Because if Latifi beats Albon, he's been in the team for long enough to become that experienced number one.
Not really, but
no, sort of. If he's way better than Albon,
if he's way better than Albon, scores consistently, then points. Then I'd say ditch Albon and get Oscar Piastri in. But if that's the case, then Albon does not deserve a seat in F1 again.
True. Yeah. So I guess
the fact that he has a seat for a second time around, I think that's very lucky. Because most people they're very unlucky with teams. They're very unlucky with team bosses and stuff like that. They leave and they're just never allowed in again. So
they disappear off to Formula E or something.
Yeah, what's his name? Ayrton Senna's, I think his
Bruno
cousin.
Senna, yeah. His nephew.
Bruno Senna. Is it Bruno Senna?
Bruno Senna, the one who raced for Williams in 2012.
It was a bit before that, but he came into Formula 1 and just
that was Bruno Senna. It was Bruno Senna.
Yeah, just disappeared into the unknown. Basically, no one knows he exists.
That was tragic, to be honest. Yeah, the Pascal Wehrlein as well was meant to be all hype and that.
He's doing he's not even doing that well in Formula.
Van Dorn, bro. Oh, Van Dorn's the name I haven't.
Van Dorn was competing for Formula E too, but he lost it to Nick De Vries. That's the thing.
Did he actually?
Yeah. So Nick De Vries, Nick De Vries was in talks for the Williams seat because he's a Mercedes driver.
Oh yeah,
he's
bro.
Won Formula E. I think I don't think he won Formula 2. I think he was quite close, but he never won Formula 2.
But he was in that tough, wasn't it George?
It was George, Lando, Albon. He was in a very tough if he came fourth, it's still impressive. But I think what trumped it was Albon's experience in Formula 1. Especially, I think now they're thinking of I want a steady ship for next year because of the older new regs, and then after that we can get in some new kind of talent. After that you can literally just get rid of Albon and Latifi and get in Nick and Oscar Piastri. I wouldn't specifically do that because it's very turbulent, but plus Albon Latifi the team dynamic would be quite good compared to say a few others maybe. If you put other people in,
it's not a worse
very
combination.
toxic.
We'll move on quickly to the next question, which I don't know, I haven't really done much research on, so we probably won't be able to spend too long on this. But Vettel and Ferrari came very close, well, not very close, but they had very good chances to win the championship in 2017 and 18. Vettel's driving was questionable most times, and Ferrari's strategy was a bit awful. Who would you blame more realistically? Because people love saying Ferrari bottled it. People love saying this was the start of the end for Sebastian Vettel. Who was actually?
I think it's a bit of both. You have to kind of put blame on both. This year, for instance, I think Lewis would have performed much better if Mercedes didn't screw up their strategy so much. But you can also look at it and say Lewis made so many mistakes this year.
Yeah.
That are very uncharacteristic of him. Also, the mistakes are very uncharacteristic of Mercedes. You can say the same with Ferrari. It's literally the exact same.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's a bit of both. I don't think you can really blame one.
So you would lean more towards one or the other, you just say?
I'd say besides, the only thing that comes to mind is Hockenheim.
Yeah, I guess.
But other than that, Ferrari made quite a few mistakes. Vettel made that one big mistake, but otherwise it was...
I guess it's tough. I don't know, personally, I feel I almost want to blame Ferrari slightly more, just for I'm assuming the atmosphere wasn't exactly great. In my head, I know I'm this is a bit of... It's a bit beyond what we know.
I'm blaming Ferrari, but that's fine.
But, I'm just thinking, I don't know, after he bottled Hockenheim, that's still, just after the summer break, maybe just before. So, there's still plenty of time left. I'm pretty sure at this point as well this was after he'd won at Silverstone as well, and the points gap was fairly small relatively. Either way, even if it was big, there's still half the season to go. So, I don't know, I can't see how they didn't. I feel like Ferrari weren't very supportive at that point. I just kind of see it where they'd already...
It was the start of it going, the relationship just deteriorated.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like, I do think it was more like that.
I don't think we can really...
We'll skip over that one, yeah.
Alright. I'm not sure, do we do this one?
No, just go on to the...
We'll skip it. Alright, so we'll get on to the main part of this episode, like the bit that we're actually trying to do, which is, we have designed our own racetracks. So...
Okay, I tried to design a racetrack, but like one just kept coming to mind, so I have just alterations.
Okay, alright. So we are billionaires, we are Herman Tilke's sons, and we are here to make more Tilkedromes, but the good kind. So I've got a few questions about our tracks, and then we'll get onto it. Do you want to go first? We'll let you go first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, do you have like a picture of the track or something I can get?
No, I'll put the picture and then we can go name, location, and then we'll put like...
Okay, we'll start with the details. Alright, so do you have a name?
I forgot where we're at. I chose a country. Which country did I say? I forgot which country I told you.
Oh, I think it was like was it like... It was like a Central African one, I swear.
Was it?
I think so. Was it
not?
Was it South American? I don't know.
I think it was South America, was it not? Netherlands. Netherlands.
Oh, okay, alright,
yeah.
fair enough.
Netherlands because of the fans.
Okay, alright, so we'll start off with, okay, so your track, first of all, every track needs a name. What are you going to call it?
Youssef.
The track is just called Youssef?
Yeah, Youssef GP. It's my track, so it should be...
Yeah, but like, there's no, like, you know, are you not going to have
Youssef
like a...
F1 Grand Prix.
Like this, like you've got to have like a nice long title to... Actually, no, these are the names of... So that's the name of the event though. The Youssef GP would be the name of the event.
Yeah.
So do you have
it's
like a name of the actual circuit?
It's my name. I'm just coming up with the name right now, so it's named after me.
Okay, alright, we'll go with that. So we'll go with the Youssef International Circuit.
No, I'm just joking. It'd probably be like... I didn't think of a name too. You didn't tell me to think of a name.
I did. So I'm assuming you don't have a nickname then?
No, I'll probably be like the... I don't know.
Okay, do you want to... Okay, the next one is location, so do you want to go define where it is?
Okay, the Netherlands, it will be the same place as, like, quite close to where...
Zandvoort.
Zandvoort. The only reason is the Dutch fans, like, I think if you look at, like, the race is boring, but as in, like, the fans... It was the best race, I think, like, the past, especially because of COVID and stuff, but, like, it was the best race in terms of, like, the atmosphere, like, the fans looked like they were having a great time. I'd say if you put a great track there, everyone's happy.
So fair. Okay, yeah, no, it's a good decision. I like that.
Like, I would have loved to put it in South America, like, I'm not lying, like, somewhere like, Argentina, maybe. Or like, say, like a South African one, like an African race, or Madagascar, something like that. That would have been really cool. Like, by the sea. That would be really nice, actually. But, like, that's very difficult for fans and stuff, so
you've gone for the atmosphere. So yours, this is going to be interesting when you see mine. But, okay, so you've gone for a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
What do you reckon the length will be? Like, on the scale of...
6 miles.
How long even is that? So how long's Spa? What's 6 Spa?
Is it 6 kilometers? Spa 6
I think Spa's 7 kilometers.
Okay, then it's 6. I think it's 6.4 kilometers.
6.4. So it's
it's
quite long.
Yeah,
like it's pretty long. So in terms of the calendar, like the shortest ones will be like Austria, Brazil.
It's like one of the longest ones in the track.
So you'll go. Okay, so you'd be up there like top 3 longest tracks in the calendar.
Probably. Yeah.
What kind of lap times? Just as a random guess.
140 probably.
Okay, yeah, that's
130,
right.
140.
Not too bad.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I'm guessing.
Alright, do you want to get it up now? Because the next one's number of corners.
Oh, you can get it up if you want. Just go down. Go open that one. Go down.
Oh, no, it's not on here, is it?
It is. You have to go up a bit. Up a bit.
Is it Miami?
No, up a bit. It's at the very top, actually, because this is the next one. Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, it's not. Oh, you.
The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Oh,
bro, that track is the best track, bro, honestly. That track is beautiful. Like, I don't get, they built that for 2 seasons, bro. That track is so nice. Like, I know I used to say, like, I said a lot of stuff about the Saudi track being, like, safety and stuff. Like, and I said a lot of stuff, but the track is just...
I should have seen that coming. No, yeah, I should have seen that
I told you as well. Like, I thought you'd get it when I said it's one of the longest on the... Like, I dropped a few hints and you just...
It's because it's new. I don't know about that one, right? Oh, so you're fully... Okay. Oh, I should have known. Yeah, you always go on about how much you love it and stuff. Okay, alright. Fair enough. Is it gonna... No, that's not it. Where is it? Bro, is it not saved? Hold on.
It's in downloads, I think.
No, I saved it to the right folder. Oh, it's gonna look ugly. Oh, it's fine. I can zoom that in. Whoops. So this is your track layout.
Everyone has seen Saudi. It looks much better on the phone.
Okay, that's fine. So the number of corners is like what, 20 something? 27?
But I make the track a bit wider. Just because it makes overtaking a bit easier. In terms of like, if you're going down the tight sections, if it's a bit wider, you can actually overtake and stuff. I still keep the barriers quite close though. So like I keep the barriers where they are, but I just like move them, like make the track wider.
Yeah.
And then the last corner, I put like a massive banking there.
Oh, so that's gonna be your banked corner with them.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. That's not too bad. I can see it working.
Yeah. And I add a bit of elevation gain, like as in, so the track goes up, like from, like, so the back part of the track is going up, and then you go around like the banking, come down, and then essentially from, like, you're still up, and then you're just going down essentially as you go into like the straight, and then the right, left, right, essentially.
So, turn 1. So the pit straight is going to be like this.
Yeah.
That's going to be mad for the pit crews. Imagine the tyres are just rolling down the hill.
You'd just be going like down. That would actually be very interesting to see.
That would look quite sick, to be fair. Yeah. I don't know
it's
about
not
slanted
like
pit
this,
lane.
but
Slanted
like,
pit lane.
But like, as in like, it's a small gradient, you know, like where there is elevation gain. I think it would look really nice with like the wee, and then it's going downhill. Because they get a lot more speed going. No.
Be good images.
Yeah.
So, the next question, what else do we have? Okay, so...
elevation,
sectors, DRS, that's fine. Okay, so the architecture though, what are you going to do differently, realistically?
I think it looked really nice.
So you're going to keep the exact same buildings, the paddock, like all of it?
No, like if I'm that rich, I'd just like spend much more money and like make it look really nice. But as in, it looked quite nice to be fair, so.
It did, but I mean...
I really like the fountain in the middle.
Stuff. Oh yeah, that did look nice, to be fair.
You need to change like the... Like, to be fair, if it is in Holland, like there'll be a lot of fans like sitting there. Like Belgium, you don't need stands. People just sit in the countryside. So it's kind of similar. You just need stands around the track. It'll be a lot easier as well because you don't have the sea right there. But I really like the pond in the middle. Like,
so you'll have to increase the capacity somehow.
Yeah, but I'm rich. I'm a billionaire, so it's fine.
I've actually questioned the capacity, but I actually don't know how. It would be ridiculous. How many people went to Zandvoort? Do you want to guess?
Like 100, no, like 20,000 probably. COVID.
No, there's no way. No.
100? I don't think it would.
I think it would have. I was going to say 400k, bro.
No.
Nah, right, Zandvoort F1 turnout?
That's an overestimate, bro.
How do we find how many people showed up to Zandvoort F1
fans? Number. Technical difficulties. Please bear with us.
Wait, 70,000?
Told you. COVID.
Nah. Was it only 70,000?
Yeah,
there's no way they made all that noise of 70,000.
That's why I'm saying. That's why ridiculous. You have a race in the Netherlands, bro. That's why it's so great. Imagine that's just 70,000. Imagine if it's like 200,000 people. Bro, that place would literally like it'd be like you're having like a thingy, like an earthquake. Anyways, you have to explain. Your turn. You have to
no, it was not 70,000. That's insane.
Bro, explain your track.
No, wait a sec. Hold on. I swear I've got more questions for you. Okay, yeah. Where on the calendar would it go?
It would be the last race of the season.
You take the last race of the season spot?
Yeah, because like the Netherlands is quite like the weather can change quite quickly.
Yeah, but surely it would just snow or something.
No, it'll be fine.
Like
I'm rich, so we
mid-December.
I'm rich, so we can put like warmers underneath the tarmac.
Sounds like Bernie. I swear Bernie said he's gonna put sprinklers on the track. He said that at some point. Yeah, he said to make it rain or something.
Oh, December is a bit like weird, you know.
That's what I'm saying though.
But that's the thing. Like it's fine. I'll put December.
All right, and the last thing is.
It's okay. We can move the calendar. The like basically the whole calendar ends in September now.
Why? What's your?
I'm rich. I can force the sport to change.
And would you still have like 23 races on the calendar?
Yeah. But it would start earlier, obviously. It wouldn't start at the same time.
When would it start?
Like January, basically.
So that's still...
It's the same thing, but...
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the same length. Oh, okay, fair enough.
But it ends in September because, you know, I'm so rich I can force them to do it.
Of course. Surely that would mean like the first 3 months of races would have to be in like the Middle East. Okay, and the last one is Saudi obviously had some incredible like drone stuff and then like fireworks, and they did all of it with the flares and stuff. What kind of stuff would you have as your after race ceremony?
I'd do exactly what they did, but like, you know, I'm rich, so I spend a bit more.
Alright, because they're well known for lacking funds. So, okay.
Bro, they're poor, bro. I'd be very rich compared to them.
So, right, here's my track. Okay, so the name of my track, we'll see whose is better, is the Autodromo Gran Dinero.
I feel like I copied that from somewhere.
I copied Autodromo because I like the sound of it. It's Spanish for racetrack. Gran Dinero is Spanish for big money. So it's the big money racetrack.
You literally went on Google Translate like,
I literally
doesn't sound cool.
No. It was the first thing I came up with because Autodromo, I wanted it to be Autodromo something. And I was like, well, what else are you going to call it other than big money? Nah, that's boring. Autodromo Gran Dinero is the big money racetrack.
My name is better. Youssef GP is much better.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Alright, the location, I have decided to put it in Thailand because I wanted it in like a East Asia kind of area. So I've gone with Thailand. The lap time could vary. I do feel like Nikita Mazepin may not even
you just make
finish a lap.
No, I'm interested.
Well, yeah, of course I did. Yeah, well, I went with 2 minutes 10, but it probably should be longer now, considering how long I want it to be. The number of corners I counted is 14, which is, you know, just middle of the way, maybe a bit short.
Is it a power focus track?
No.
Obviously, it's like there are no corners on the track.
No, but it's straight lines.
It's straight lines.
You'll find out how it's limited. It's I wouldn't consider it a power circuit. Actually, with the I'd say there's a lot of importance on the power unit, but the power output isn't necessarily the way you're thinking of it. If that makes sense. Okay.
Are there a lot of long flowing corners like Saudi basically?
Well, so let's find out. let's find out.
You're drawing. I want to see you draw. I've already seen.
So I have drawn this on paint. Where is it? Now, isn't that a beauty? Where is it? Yeah, you can see it. So the start finish straight is this bit here. That's the start finish line, and then you go clockwise. So I've got a China level turn 1. You know how they go like all the way around, like in China. So I've got
just
that.
So Lewis, you know, can't win a championship.
Sure, yeah. So I've done the China turn 1. This is literally all just copied of China. Then they come up here. That's the end of sector 1. They have an S section because every good track has copied an S section from somewhere. And then they have this long right-hander here leading on to the first of the 3 DRS straights, where you go around. Long banked corner here, around the corner. Do a quick 180. Fast left-hander to lead on to the second huge DRS straight. It should be like the longest one. And a swift 90-degree corner to lead you back on.
Power focus? Well, that thing is...
Now, there's a reason. There's a reason. The main thing about this track is it's going to be... Oh, wait, hold on. It's not working. The main bit about this track is that it's going to be like one of these. So the reason it's in Thailand is because it's going to be one of them cliff edge tracks. Well, no, I say that as if there's one before. But basically, it's going to be like one of these. So if you imagine, I've based it off... Oh, that's what I was going to Google. Wait, hold on.
This actually sounds quite nice.
I have based it off a few things. So if you imagine like you know those islands that they make in the Middle East where they just make man-made islands? Imagine that, but they scaled it up so it's like in the end they shaved all the sides off. So the track's just going to be stood there by itself, and then the edges are just like cliffs and stuff. I also... Wait, hold on.
Wii Sports.
Shut up. Wait.
Wii Sports.
No, hold on.
Wii Sports.
In my head, yeah, in the shower. Hold on.
Yeah, he came up with this in the shower.
Wait.
I'm so disappointed.
Hold on.
I'm actually very disappointed.
Hold on. Wait. Where is it? Yo, there it is. The second thing I based it off, the first one was the man-made islands. The second one, where's my mouse gone?
It's still there.
Where? Oh. The second thing is this. So you know how like in the Wii Sports Resort platform for swordplay, so that's the track, and then off the edge is just cliff. And then look, they even have grandstands as well. So, that that is what I've based my track off. Whoops, let me bring it back.
I'm just disappointed.
So, here's the track. So, that's what it will look like.
What happens if a car like smacks here? It's just...
That's the point.
Dead.
So here, let me just keep...
He's
Let
dead.
me just keep going. So the inspiration for this track was, it's all about letting them race, really. So you've got to let them race. Also, everyone complains, you know, oh, I love Monaco. Monaco's a great track. Oh, it's a driver's circuit. If you make a mistake, you're in the wall. No one likes runoff areas.
Bro, if he makes a
You see-
mistake, he's dead. He's not in the wall. That guy's dying. He's just flying.
It's still better than runoff areas, bro. Bro, listen, look, everyone's seeing the car park circuits. Everyone's seeing the runoff areas. Tell me where the runoff area is.
Yeah, but like,
Exactly.
you need like, he's going
No,
down.
no, listen, it's all part of the plan. Look, so...
El plan, yeah?
Exactly. So I've got this track. It's been inspired. It's all about letting them race. Everyone loves Monaco because, you know, if you make a mistake, you're in the wall. So this one, it's high risk, high
I
reward.
thought you were going to
That's
say
what I like to
Saudi
call it.
because, you know, like, if you make a mistake, you're actually in the wall, Monaco.
Okay, well, yeah, Saudi as well, you know.
Saudi
Where
is
is
much
it?
better than Monaco.
I mean, sure, yeah. So, bring it back to this again. This, but literally off the edge of the track, cliff. So, elevation changes. I don't even need to talk
You
about
know the name
elevation
doesn't
changes.
actually make sense since it's in Thailand, right?
Yeah, but it's big monies because I got paid big monies to make it, so it's fine. It's not about me, it's my big monies. Anyway, so the elevation, so when I said about the engine and how it's not going to be reliant in the way you think, the altitude is obviously going to mean it's engine dependent, but they're not exactly going to be trying to go 200 miles an hour down.
Yeah,
these
because
DRS
he's
straights.
too scared he's gonna, like, not smack and get hurt. He's scared he's gonna fly off and just go like,
I should have changed the lap time to like 5 minutes probably.
you know, like you do like the bumper cars where you're attached to the top.
Oh
You just attach the cars, like, if he goes off, you know, like the car's
He's got a
just
harness.
hanging.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. See, that's a good
Yeah,
point. I didn't think about
he's
safety.
dragged out of the car, and the car just goes like, well, there
It's all
goes,
part of the budget.
there goes 15 million pounds.
That would be so good.
Does
So,
not
anyway.
sound realistic. Mine sounds realistic. This
Listen,
sounds like
yours
nonsense.
sounds realistic because you copied a track, bro. You took a realistic track and you copied it.
No, I
Anyway,
improved it.
the architecture. So as you saw, the Wii Sports has got a great way of doing grandstands. So there's that. But also,
There's no space for that.
but also, if the cliff edge is like around the edges, the inside bit could be safe for grandstands. So you could put all the grandstands on the inside of the track.
That's
And
going to
then,
be very difficult to build up.
Listen, when you've got big monies, as you kept saying, you're a billionaire, you can do all this stuff. So can I. So it's fine. The capacity is, I mean, I'm assuming.
That's not realistic.
I'm saying 100,000. I feel like 100,000 people would show up.
Bro, you thought,
It might actually be
400. You thought 400,000 people went to Zambor. I don't trust your estimate.
Okay, I might sell like 4
Just
tickets.
quarter that.
No,
That's the
no.
Like, yeah.
It's either 100,000 or it's 4 people. Like it depends.
Yeah, 4 people.
Oh, no.
Actually, 4 people would be able to actually go to that race.
They would. Nah, you got.
Where's
It would be
the
good.
pit lane? There's no space for the
The
pit.
pit lane would go
No.
inside. There'll be a separate cliff for the pit lane. It's fine.
You know, like if one guy just goes to smoke on the side, you know, bro, what are you doing? He smacks him. The guy just goes,
It's fine. Smoking kills anyway. It's his own fault. So how would it help overtaking? Well, here's the thing.
Someone went out for a breath of fresh air, and just someone smacks him on the back. Hello, guys.
It's the freshest air, bro. The freshest air. You know, when you're up in Thailand, the freshest air. So how will it help overtaking? First of all,
no one's overtaking anyone, bro.
There's the thing. So we won't even need Massey. It's fine. We get rid of him. We don't need a race director. If you, the technique for overtaking is perfect now. I've set the rules out for overtaking just by making the track. If you want to overtake, go down the inside and just do the Max Verstappen. You'll help break yourself, run your rival off the track. He goes flying off a cliff.
Kill the guy and you win.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's how it works.
Okay, I think this is enough. This
you.
I'm not trusting you.
What do you mean?
No. This is.
You can't argue that this is not a good. I want to keep it on this one. This is the perfect F1 track. Anyway, where on the calendar would I put it? I put after the summer break, but I just realised I think they probably have like a rainy season after the summer.
In the summer.
So we're gonna have to go with like December probably. So which means I could take the final. I could take the final race of the year.
My race is much better.
I might go with the first actually. To be honest, I could go with the first race of the year.
No, I can't take what has always been the first race?
It's normally Australia, but it's Bahrain this year.
Oh right, yeah, because Australia they're being very weird with COVID and stuff.
I'll have it. I'll do first race. I reckon the trophy as well would be like an outline of the track on like a. It would just be the cliff, like it would just be a sculpture.
I thought you were rich, so you're gonna make like a big one, like the British GP, like the gold one.
No, I'm not trying to make a weird, like, boring-looking trophy. I'm gonna have it so it's like actually just the track, so it looks like.
You should have one like the French one, like that monster one.
Oh no, that one's so weird. No, that looks so. How's that a trophy, man? Nah, that's awful. And then the after race ceremony, I mean, it depends on how many people survive. But
no one is going to survive, bro. It's going to be
I reckon
the Hunger Games.
I do like an RAF like plane show, you know, like how they do
Thailand.
The race. Exactly.
They're going to shoot them down because like enemy airplanes,
No.
You know, like all the countries now are banned from having military aircraft fly over the races.
They actually?
Yeah, the only country that is allowed to do that is the UK, because technically the Red Arrows are not part of are not like a military squadron. Like they are a military squadron, but not an operational one, because there's just a show one. So they're okay to do it basically, but everyone else is banned from it.
Well, big monies. I will make sure it happens, because then I'll be the one of two tracks.
Just if we bring the Red Arrows, it's fine. They're British, so they'll like. Apparently, the British people control F1, so they'll let it happen.
I'm sure they'd be up for that, especially when they see this track. You won't be able to pass on this. So, I mean, that's about it.
Thank God it's done.
That's about it.
It's done.
Well, let us know whose track you prefer, I guess.
That's scary, bro. People are actually gonna die going to that race.
It's just, you've got to let them race. Well, no one wants
let them race. If it rains, they're not stopping, bro. Like if Nikita Mazepin is driving, bro, the guy's just going off the edge.
More seats, bro.
He spins and he goes. Like I know he's not that good, but you don't let him die.
It's all for our entertainment.
We should end it here.
You see the season, you see the episodes that would come out in Drive to Survive about that track.
Yeah.
It's top quality stuff.
Yeah, we should end it here. Just like with everyone still alive, before this actually like someone sees it and tries to copy the idea. No.
If they do, I've got to get the big monies for it, because it's an incredible idea.
It's a terrible idea.
It was quality stuff.
Terrible idea.
And
terrible.
I can't wait to see it on the calendar in 20 years.
No, you're not.
So
it's not going to be on the calendar in like never, bro.
You see the way Netflix is going now. I give it 20 more years exactly, maybe even 5.
It's not going to be Formula 1 by then. It's just going to be esports on that point.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. They'd make
not esports. I mean like Formula E basically. Yeah.
No, it would be esports. They'd be all virtual. Like the drivers would be wearing VR headsets doing it. So then they could use this. That's actually alright. No, yeah. With that said, we're actually gonna end it there.
just before my point gets destroyed. Quickly end it.
Before Youssef quickly thinks of anything. Thanks for watching or listening. I actually forgot to say this last time, but if you've somehow watched to the end of any of these videos, we have a nice little fresh end screen on the YouTube videos which we put out. Inspired by my little brother, actually, he helped make them. So Mustafa actually helped me make that, and it actually looks pretty good, I'd say. So I just wanted to mention that. We'll be back next week with something.
The predictions.
Maybe.
Yeah, because most cars will be out by then.
That's a fair point. Okay, yeah, we'll probably do predictions. Sick. Alright, thank you for watching and listening. Give us a good rating and like all the stuff. And yeah, see you in a bit.